Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Kyle here from KGTV, and today I wanted to do a video on the 3 things that I think Google Stadia has to do in order to stay relevant in the gaming world. So, in no particular order, the first thing that I think Google needs to do with Stadia is they have to change the pricing of Stadia Pro. The benefits that you get with Stadia Pro, in my opinion, just do not justify the $10 a month price tag. If you compare this with something I'm more familiar with PlayStation Plus, currently you can get a PlayStation Plus year subscription for between, I think it's $50 and $60. Now, with PlayStation Plus, that gives you the opportunity to play online with friends. It gives you 2 free games each month, which typically are AAA titles. If not, at least one of them is a AAA title, and one of them is a well-received game, a fairly well-known game. Also, they give you discounts on other games in their store each month. So right there, that just essentially cripples Stadia's Pro. With Stadia Pro, you get the ability to stream in 4K, and you get discounts on games, and you get 2 free games each month. So far, the free games that we've gotten with Stadia Pro are Tomb Raider, the Definitive Collection, I believe it's called. Farming Simulator 2019. We got Destiny 2 with Shadowkeep, I believe. I'm not super familiar with the whole Destiny world and stuff like that. And then we also got Samurai Showdown. Now, yeah, some of these are well-received games. I mean, obviously Destiny 2 being probably the main one out of those. And then Tomb Raider falling behind that, and then probably, I'm not 100% sure, I'm not very familiar with like the whole fighting world, but I would tend to think that Samurai Showdown would even be behind Farming Simulator. But I mean, these are just games that aren't going to really entice people to go out and get Stadia. I know a lot of friends that I have and people I know that play video games, quite frequently and stuff like that. And a lot of them talk about Destiny 2. They don't have really anything negative to say about it, but the general consensus is like, isn't that a game, like, hasn't that been out for a while? And didn't the developers pull some weird stuff whenever it first came out? And, and if I bring up Samurai Showdown, many of them don't know what that is. Many of them don't really care about the first Tomb Raider in the new rebooted series, and not really many of them care to play Farming Simulator. So these are things that I just don't think that you're getting a whole lot of value for Stadia Pro, and the fact that they're charging $10 a month. So in a year, you will spend $120, so $70 more than what you would pay for PlayStation Plus for the year. And these are the kind of free games that we're getting each month. Now, I know it's new, and I'm not trying to bash Stadia. I think it could be really cool, but these are some things that I think Google's going to have to change in order to entice people to see value in Stadia. So that kind of leads me to what my number 2 is, and that is that Stadia has to get AAA titles. Not having Call of Duty or Fortnite or I don't know, like World of Warcraft or Rocket League, which is one of my favorite games. There, like I was saying in my first statement, there's just not a whole lot that really entices people to go out and see the value in Stadia. It's just really not there right now. And it's kind of boring to play a little bit because I've tried to dip my toe back into Destiny, and it's a cool game, and I really like what they've done with it. It seems like they've kind of gotten their act together, and they're kind of for their consumers right now. I know that the I think Bungie team or whoever was kind of pulling some shady stuff whenever it first came out, but it looks like they've kind of taken a step back and are looking at what their players are saying and the concerns that they have. So I do appreciate all that that they've done with the game, but all the other games that are free right now, I have no desire to play them. I don't have a ton of time to play games that much, not nearly as much as I did when I was a kid and didn't have anything else to worry about. But if I play a game pretty much now, unless it has an awesome story or single player, I'm pretty much just playing online with my friends. And not having some of these AAA games, I talk to people I work with who are into gaming, and I talk to my friends, and they don't really know what Stadia is. And when I try to show them or explain it to them, it's like they're bored in the first 10 minutes. Like, they think it's a cool idea, but then when I go to show them the games, they're just old. They're old games. And now there are some in the store that obviously you have to pay for, but I've just been kind of apprehensive about going forward and paying $60 for these games that you need an internet connection for, and that currently you can't play on iPhone and iOS and your iPad, which is what I have, and who knows when that feature is going to arrive. So right now, it's just they really got to get AAA titles on there. I think that's going to be huge for them. If they could put something like a Fortnite or a Call of Duty, that would be huge for them, because then it's like, hey, I can tell, my friends or people I know, hey, go out and check out Stadia. And, because the first thing that they ask is what games are on Stadia, like, what can I play? And to tell them that they can play Destiny 2 or Tomb Raider or Farming Simulator, like, that doesn't do anything. So they have to get AAA titles. And I think if they even just got one big, like, Destiny is big, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think, like, Destiny has such a tight player base that, like, really supports that game. But I think a lot of people kind of fell off from the first Destiny. And then with the stuff that kind of happened when Destiny 2 first came out, I think they really lost a lot of people, except for the people that really saw the true potential in that game and stuck with it. So, but if they got something, even Fortnite, which is free, like, if they could get Fortnite on there, which I'm assuming that they're gonna have at some point, I think that would be huge for Stadia. And the one thing that Fortnite really helped bring to light with this gaming generation, which goes to my next point, is cross-platform play. Stadia, this is another thing that I think would boost Stadia sales and make it look so much more appealing to people if they knew that they could buy, I guess I'm going to reference games that are on there right now, but like Mortal Kombat, or any of these games that are on there right now. Stadia might say, or Google might say, that it's up to the developers, which I'm sure that does play a part in it, but they also have to do whatever they can on their side to help expedite this feature. Because I'm telling you right now, if there are games that I could play with my friends while I'm on Stadia or whatnot, I would probably be way more inclined to buy games on Stadia, knowing that I can play with my friends and it doesn't really matter, if I have it for PS4 or Xbox or PC or whatever. And I think that they're going to have to do that as soon as possible. I think they have to do all these things as soon as possible. I knew it would be kind of like a struggle with Google Stadia at the beginning and stuff like that. It's been really receiving some negative press before it even came out and stuff like that. So I kind of knew what I was getting into. So don't get me wrong. It's not like I was like blindsided by, oh, it doesn't have this, or this. I kind of knew I was signing up for a beta. But these are just things that I've noticed. And it's kind of funny because some of the things that I expected to really be an issue turned out to not even be as big of an issue as I thought. Like the input lag, I thought that was going to be terrible. Like cloud gaming, that's the first thing everyone thinks of. And honestly, I have had some experiences where there was a little bit too much input delay and I just wasn't really digging it. But some of the stuff I have played works great. And it might not be up to the level where I would like want to compete necessarily, like super hardcore. Like if you're someone who, plays competitive Call of Duty and you're trying to go pro or something like that, I don't think Stadia is your answer. But if you want to just be able to play with your friends, well, not currently, but if you want to be able to play with your friends on the go, and maybe you can't really afford a super expensive PC or a console, this will work. Like I've played Destiny 2 competitively. Mind you, it takes, I don't know, upwards of 20 minutes sometimes to find a game, but when it does, it feels good. It really does. Most of the time when I've had my positive success with playing Stadia and stuff like that, it has been connected to my PC playing in the Chrome browser. When I did use my Chromecast Ultra, I did notice a little bit of input delay or input lag, whatever you want to call it. So I do want to test that out again. But yeah, like really some of the things I thought would be an issue aren't an issue, and some of the things I thought would be a little bit more smooth or, whatever, they're not really there yet. So it's kind of weird. I was expecting, I guess, the wrong things to be wrong with Stadia. I was expecting the controller to be terrible, and quite honestly, I think that's one of the best controllers I've ever used. It's kind of like a hybrid between the Xbox controller with the PS4 controller with the Switch Pro controller. It's kind of crazy, and it feels really good, has cool texture, has good weight, all the buttons feel really nice and clicky. So it's kind of crazy that they did so good on some of these things, and then there's other things that they're just really dropping the ball on. And I think these three things, changing the price of Stadia Pro, they got to get AAA titles, relevant current AAA titles, and cross-platform play. I think that just those three things alone would really boost Stadia, and it would help convince people that Stadia is a valid option, in 2019 going into 2020. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're interested in trying Stadia, if you have it, what your experience has been so far. And everything like that. I just did a giveaway the other day of my Stadia Buddy Pass. So if you're interested in, I'm going to try to do some possible giveaways in the future if I can, if an opportunity comes up like that. But if you enjoy the content so far, please consider subscribing. And sorry for the Rocket League gameplay, but I found out that you can't currently really stream or record Stadia gameplay unless you have a splitter to get past the HDCP issue, which I was unaware of until I was trying to record my Stadia gameplay of Destiny 2 and realized that it was saying I had a bad or poor internet connection and would inhibit me from playing. So I'm working on getting a HDMI splitter so I can stream and record my Stadia gameplay. But I have some Rocket League gameplay. It's not my best performance, but hopefully it's entertaining for you guys. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, give it a like, and I'll talk to you guys soon.